que nos dice que somos como unos animales salvajes, somos perros para ellos, pero lo que ellos nos desconocen a nosotros, que nosotros somos un pueblo con idioma propia y conocimiento propio, lo que no conocen las demás, la otra cultura, es que no valoriza nuestra cultura. Por lo tanto, nosotros las mujeres indígenas tenemos el valor principal para decirle a ellos también, como nosotros nos unimos para proteger nuestro territorio, nuestra tierra, nuestros pájaros, nuestros árboles, nuestros ríos. Entonces nosotros somos como la madre tierra. Tautuma, 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 así que casabagia core.
In this vein, I endorse the inclusion of the indigenous issues among the priorities of the United Nations.
De tener acceso a la educación, acceso al trabajo, que tengan tierra, que sea equitativo, que ya no haya exclusión.
When the land is taken of us, it's our life, it's our blood.
We don't talk in terms of a definition of Indigenous, we talk in terms of the concept of Indigenous. We express ourselves collectively through our culture, through our spirituality. We identify as a group collectively, we pass on our traditional knowledge collectively. If you're of Aboriginal descent, if you identify as such and if you're recognised as such by the community, that for us that's good enough.
We have a common collective experience. We are all the descendants of tribes.
Because that's what we're dealing with, is the violations against our mother, the earth.
In Indigenous society, there are four things that are sacred above all of them. And those are the land, the air, the water, and the sun.
Against these corporate powers and governmental powers that are targeting our communities with toxic dump sites, with uranium mines, with all kinds of different things that are really, really, really damaging our people's health and straight up, committing genocide on our communities.
También tenemos pueblos en ahuyentamiento voluntario, otros le dicen que es pueblos no contactados, y queremos que el gobierno, nuestros gobiernos y también nosotros como organización asegurarles su territorio a ellos. Entonces esperamos de que su autodeterminación de esos pueblos lo respetamos en lo máximo.
To preserve a land base for our future generations and my children and my grandchildren and children to come after that. Oh, yeah.
Just over 80 years ago, Chief Descani traveled from Canada to Geneva to tell the League of Nations about the right of his people to live on their own land, follow their own laws, and practice their own faiths. Chief Descahe was refused permission to speak and had to return home without accomplishing his mission. But his vision has inspired countless indigenous leaders since then to articulate and pursue the goals of their peoples.
I mentioned that my spiritual leaders long time ago know that someday if people from foreign countries will come upon our land and put up what they call Rupiki, that means house of glass, where all nations who have able to come into this body will be gathered here and supposed to correct, change, and stop wrong things. The land of the Mutisinum, that means first people, to bring about peace and justice and harmony. And you have been talking about human rights, but all these years, you have not opened a door to the original Native people.
For far too long, the hopes and aspirations of indigenous peoples have been ignored. Their lands have been taken, their cultures denigrated or directly attacked, their languages and customs suppressed, their wisdom and traditional knowledge overlooked, and their sustainable ways of developing natural resources dismissed. Some have even faced the threat of extinction. Indigenous peoples continue to suffer from prejudice and ill will. In many cases, they are trapped in the middle of conflicts, conscripted into armed forces, faced with summary executions, and relocated from their lands. They are subject to extreme poverty, disease, environmental destruction, and sometimes permanent displacement.
500 años que no nos han permitido realmente vivir en estados democráticos, pluralistas, diversos. Pareciera ser que los derechos humanos de los pueblos indígenas no existen. Pareciera ser que nosotros estamos destinados a vivir en la semi-esclavitud, en las restricciones y en la no participación de las democracias de nuestros estados. En ese sentido, nosotros a veces vemos con preocupación cómo se nos quieren dar a los pueblos indígenas derechos humanos de segunda categoría, cuando los derechos humanos son inalienables, inherentes, y los estados deben protegerlos. Como los que nos deben proteger a nosotros son precisamente los que nos limitan, violan nuestros derechos humanos y no nos permiten realmente vivir en armonía dentro de nuestros estados.